Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nazreen, this is FAROOQ Mirza, your host from Fourth Pillar TV USA's program Washington Global Forum. We welcome Waleed Ansari Saab. He's a attorney and a former Deputy Attorney General Sindh. And
Pakistan.
we also welcome Professor Dr. GOLAM MUJTABA Saab. He is a strategist and foreign policy subject matter specialist and chairman Pakistan Policy Institute USA. Thank you very much, folks, coming to the show. Today we have a burning topic to discuss. We have a dramatic developments in Pakistan, and we we were in the middle of controversy and extreme curiosity uh, and suspense about the appointment of Army Chief, Pakistan Army Chief. But now this suspense is over. The federal government they maintained discipline and appointed the senior most uh, army general. And the important thing, the PTI, the part of PTI and the president of Pakistan, he signed right away. And before his oath-taking ceremony, things started settling down in Pakistan. And the last night, the long-term killing and the deadly melodramatic uh, this long time march PTI march ended in smoke. And what they were expecting, almost a million people, they will come and they will raid over Rawalpindi and its departments. And they had a long-term desire, and they were shouting from the dharna stand that they will teach a good lesson to the federal government. All looters, they will pay for that. But what we saw last night, it was just a hoax, nothing. And one thing is pop up, and in the end of Imran Khan's speech, he announced that is another surprise that maybe that is his trump card that he will quit from the assemblies. And so this is the new thing we will discuss. We have a attorney on board. Dr. Saab, um, let's talk about the appointment of a new army chief. And uh, today or tomorrow he will take oath. And my question is to you, what he will do to restore army and its institutions' credibility, the damage and the all blames that the General Bajwa received. What he will do? Uh, should we expect that he will take a revenge or and go after those people who were running trends against Pakistan Army and his departments, or he will just keep quiet and come back, go back to his normal routine?
Mr. Farooq Mirza Saab, thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. Waleed Ansari Saab. It has always been a pleasure to address to your audience and make an analysis on the current affairs prevailing in Pakistan. Having said that, your question on the Army Chief and the Chairman of the Joint Chief of the Staff. Personally, both of these generals are very much known to me. And they are career soldiers, career military officers who believe in professional duties and professionalism. And they came and they rose to this position based on merit, on professional merit that they achieved at the military academy in Kabul and excelled in their career. I have all the praise and admiration for these people, and they deserved to get the leadership of Pakistan's military. The perception about the military leadership and the perception about the civilian leadership is one of those topics that has had been a topic of discussion and discourse in my doctoral thesis submitted to a US university on the perceptions of leadership of both the military and the civilian. The perceptions that exist is that Pakistan is a deep state where there is influence of the oligarch in Pakistani politics. But these two gentlemen who rose to power, I expect them to be professional and would do and resolve issues in a professional way. They will not be biased, they do not have a partisan approach. And what Imran Khan did in the previous days, he tried to create a divide in the Pakistan armed forces. We had seen Faizabad Dharna in the TLP in 2017 when General Faiz Hamid distributed money to the people in Faizabad. That was witnessed. The agreement was signed. This is documented and available on Google search, where General Faiz Hamid signed the papers of agreement with TLP. That was a political intrusion into political affairs of Pakistan. And we also saw that the minority rule in the Senate was turned into the majority. There was a minority of the PTI in the Senate of Pakistan, and the chairman of the Senate was brought up by some way or the other, which people blame as gimmicks and manipulation amongst the leadership by influencing the leadership, and that was done when there was the same man holding the position of political wing of Pakistan's spy agency. Now, what happened after that is when he was changed, then there was a hue and cry from Mr. Imran Khan to keep the man intact. And what we saw, there is no ambiguity in this. This is all available in the press. This is all available in the Google. I am not saying something.
Doctor Saab, what new army chief will do? Please answer my question to
It
maintain
is
a
not. It
discipline
is not a
because
question of. It is not a question of yes and no. I have to build up a case to tell you what he will do based on circumstantial evidences. He is not the type of man who will indulge into political activities. He is not the type of soldier who will indulge into partisan approach. He will do whatever is needed from the Pakistan Armed Forces. And both of them, including General Sahil Shamshad and General Asim Munir, both are professionals. So we do not expect any intrusion into Pakistan's civilian party politics. And that is what bothered Imran Khan. The litmus test was when Imran Khan did not get a general of his choice, he was agitated. And the entire phenomena that happened in Islamabad and Rawalpindi, the long march, the dharna, the coincidence of the dates of 26th or 27th was related to the change of hands in Army's command. We welcome Army's command being taken over based on merit, and we welcome both the generals as the leaders of Pakistan's armed forces as Pakistani Americans, and also the United States policymakers would support the idea that this is a good move that Pakistan has taken and democracy is taking its footings in Pakistan.
okay, Walid Ansari Saab,
Yeah.
coming to you, there were certain elements in within the army institution and its departments. They were part of creating a divide within the institution, and the Imran Khan and its party loudly mentioned their almost their names, and also he was about to mention another name that, and he created an environment that one a part the party A and party B, and one of them they are reporting to him directly. So that was a very scary statement uh, that he gave um, uh, from the from his stage. So new army chief, as General Bajwa in his last his address, he said there was a bogus verdict they were marketing. So when he said a bogus and the new army chief, I think. uh, he should take action or he should keep quiet?
Thank you for having me on the show. Number one, military intervenes into domestic affairs or politics when it feels that the territory that it is to defend is suffering inherent weaknesses, either from the political system or from lot of intervention from forces acting outside Pakistan. So we have had military interventions in Pakistan. Some were necessary, some were unnecessary, and their interference is therefore in light of their viewpoint and what they see as should be the system or the effectiveness of a system of security within the country. Therefore, they intervene. But this accusation that they have supported a lot of parties and brought in governments or removed them, that is to some extent maybe considerable. We can consider those, but we cannot blanketly say that the army is completely running the affairs of the entire country, all the affairs. The new army appointments is a good hallmark, I would say, because
Hello?
the senior most generals have been
आ जाएं आप,
appointed,
आ जाएं सर, लाइन पे आ जाएं.
and within the army there is a system of promotions. So if the army is confident with
आप
some of its
जो वोट
officers
मैंने भेजा है ना
to lead the army eventually, they should bring those up to the senior
I'll
most
send you
position so that the prime
check your
minister
WhatsApp. Check your WhatsApp.
should select the senior most generally. Because when we pick and choose, then we itself are, uh, I would say, bringing the institution into the chat rooms, which shouldn't be there. As far as the PTI attempt to create a divide within the army, that was very, very unfortunate, because I think nobody should, an ex-prime minister especially, should be careful with his statements, what he is saying, because they have far-reaching impact. Unfortunately, the entire record of the PTI chairman has been very dismal, because he has attacked every institution. It looks like he is on an agenda to create chaos in this country. Unfortunately, I'm saying this, I wouldn't like to point such a finger at any political leader. But if we analyze what he has done over the years, we just come to this conclusion, which is not just based on mere presumption. It will be based on analysis of all his statements and all his actions over the years since he has entered into politics, especially since the 2013 election, when he rose to some prominence. So by attacking politicians and the political system and ridiculing them before the nation and lowering their esteem, calling them rotten thieves, you yourself, your party is composed of so many of these old past thieves that I would say, where is the justification of attacking the entire political system? Number two, you attacked parliament. You said the bunch of thieves in there, there's an unworkable parliament. You are sitting then in that same parliament. So the difference between your actions and your speech is very evident. Then you attack the judiciary. You lower the esteem of the judiciary also in the eyes of the nation. The judiciary may be composed of a few honorable judges who maybe have not given good judgments, but to lambast the entire judiciary, you are not being positive with the nation and the focus of this nation. Then you attack the constitution itself, which is a sacred document of the country. It was adopted by all the political parties and all political thinkers in 1973. And you have made it unworkable by trying to put your own National Assembly speaker to thwart the provisions of that constitution, to sabotage them. Then the army, as you say, it has been attacked. The institution is singled out army officers. This was never done before. An army, a military is your security, the security of the nation. It may have its weaknesses. Those weaknesses need to be addressed in meetings with officers of the institution, not washing your dirty linen in public. And then you overburden the economy by taking $50 billion of loans. And today you are saying that they are about to default. Who added this additional 100% burden on the economy in the first place? It was your government. In 3.45 years, you have taken $49.6 billion at loans, which was unprecedented in the last 70 years before your government took over. If in 3 years that same amount is taken and brought into the economy, initially it will create an euphoria, which it did. But eventually, what happens? Who is going to repay this? And especially when you have this COVID-19 impasse in the international economy, and everything is going down with supply chain difficulties, how would you expect your own economy to pay back those 50 plus the earlier $50 billion to the international lenders? So these attacks are there. Plus, the attack is there on the media as well. All those who are not supporting the PTI are either Lifafa, envelope journalists, as you say, those who are on the take of money.
Waleed Ansari Saab, I will come back to you.
Ji.
We will take from there. Let me come back to Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba Saab. Dr. Saab, previously, the Pakistan-American military-to-military relationship were on a high pitch, and they were working in Afghanistan and for the regional peace. And whenever General Bajwa came to United States of America, he was taken care of that, given him a cannon salutes. And but on the contrary, we observed that the civil relationship with the Pakistan and the federal governments, they were not in a pleasant way. But now the new army chief, he is taking oath and thinks they will change. And what do you expect the level of military to military relationship uh, in that beginning? What do you expect, Dr. Saab?
The United States of America believes in people to people relationship, believes in relationship in a strengthening democracy, believes in relationship with institutions of a country, does not believe on individuals. The US policies did not move around individuals. It's not an autocracy in the US. US has a long-term policies. And in that long-term policies, Pakistan is a conduit to the Middle East. Pakistan is a gateway to South Asia. Pakistan is a conduit to Central Asia. Pakistan has its geographical importance in the region, and the United States has its interest in the region for a number of reasons, being the biggest power on earth. US hegemony has to be maintained, and in order to maintain US hegemony, US wants good relationship with the world in that region, which means Afghanistan, Pakistan, which means UAE, Saudi Arabia, which means Iran, which means all the neighboring countries in that region. Now, in order to handle that, Pakistan's army and Pakistan's armed forces, or the Pakistan's military, is an institution which has a long-standing relationship with the US, irrespective of political turmoils that happened over the years in Pakistan. Political turmoils do not matter. Nor the change of leadership or the change of command of Pakistan Army. Both of these individuals are very much will be very much supported by the United States in the days to come. You will hear a policy from the State Department and from the White House that we support the strengthening democracy in Pakistan and the change of hands in army leadership based on merit. And US will support that. Biden administration is going to help Pakistan, but Having said that, the key to all this element is Pakistan's behavior, Pakistan's attitude. That means the government's attitude, not the people of Pakistan, how they behave. If Osama bin Laden is kept in Abbottabad and money is taken for US military aid in Pakistan, then that duplicacy and that trend would not be able to continue. Second thing, if the military general goes to Serena, Kabul, and shows a cup of tea in his hand and tries to say that he is the one who can handle Taliban, and then Pakistan's National Security Advisor Moeed Yusuf comes into the stage and threatens of another 9/11, these things are not going to work. Why? Putin gave a statement just few weeks before that he can use nuclear stuff, nuclear bomb, and the US White House responded that do it and try it. We have all the resources to handle that. And they could not do a damn to the US.
So,
Third, Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan, landed in Taiwan, violated the Air Force, the air zone of China, which they claim to, and still their aircrafts landed in Taiwan. Nothing happened. So this is US might. Given those facts, with US support to Pakistan in CETO, in NATO, in all the agreements in the Middle East, and Pakistan support in all those agreements, including the Gulf War I, including the Gulf War II, including war on terror, including in Afghanistan, these policies were managed by the Pakistan Armed Forces. And Pakistan Armed Forces did a tremendous job in strengthening this relationship with the United States. And we believe that this leadership has a clear understanding, both the new army chief and the chairman of the joint chief on this relationship. They understand the cultural intricacies in this relationship. And I am myself aware of the fact that on the request of the present chief of the army, at one point, there was some skirmishes and there were some fights that were supposed to happen on the borders of Pakistan and India was stopped. And I played a role in that. I cannot mention those secret information on your open program, but
Doctor,
we believe that Pakistan is a strong and important component of American policy. And if someone thinks that American policy can be shuttered off, no. American policy will prevail and Pakistan's interests will prevail, and Pakistan's prosperity and Pakistan's progress is critical to US interests.
thank you very much, Dr. Saab. The relationship shouldn't be disturbed on a cup of coffee. But I will come back to Waleed Ansari Saab. The Pakistan Army is a professional army, and since the year and a half, they are not a part of political system, and they repeatedly said they won't. They will keep a neutrality. So let me understand the level of neutrality. So it means that the media would be independent, and the conflicts with the media would be resolved, and the presence of these elements in the editorial boards and in the newsroom, and they will quit in the same way, or we will have a free atmosphere to talk and to uh, play our professional duties, and the media won't be restricted and deny asking questions during the press briefings. And in addition, also, the Pakistan military's media representative organization, ISPR, they will also review their policies. So, what I mentioned right now, can you please explain? This is the neutrality, or another one? Should we expect they will shut down their political wings within the agencies?
Uh, I'm not too aware about the internal uh, actions within the army or what they have formulated as policies, what their future is going to be. But it would be in the good scheme of things that all institutions, everybody, the word you use, professionalism. Everybody should professionally do their duty as enshrined in the Constitution. That would make a workable country. Of course, where there are weaknesses, they must immediately get together and hold dialogues and meetings and sort things out so that these things do not come out into the open, into the streets or onto papers. As far as the media is concerned, the media should act responsibly. You see, we have seen so much in these few years from coming from the media that we don't even know what to believe and what not to believe. So it would be, in the fair scheme of things, that all follow the constitutional provisions, they stay within their domains, and they act on advice if there is something where they think their intervention or interjection is necessary. I don't know if the military is going to wind up the ISPR. I doubt that. It will stay there. But whether they have their cells within medias, I'm not sure. But I do know that a lot of media is under their influence, or at least they take some of their instructions from them in sensitive matters, where they would follow what the army would sort of, I don't know if you use the word request, but they would advise them to stay the course, and not disrupt too many things. The media has gone, I think, a little too overboard in discussing national politics, is to the extent of almost ridiculing everything and everybody. And the chat that these talk shows that we keep seeing all the time discussing politics is just, I think, a little too much. There's no professionalism, there's no wisdom coming from speakers, and they do not invite professors or uh, researchers who could give them opinions based on studies. So if we have something else, we need to educate the nation as well. How far the army will intervene in the future is a big question. So we have to wait and see.
Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba Sahab, please give an answer the same question.
I think Mr. Walid Ansari has given a very good answer. A very experienced lawyer, a former Deputy Attorney General of Pakistan. He has a very good understanding on the subject. But let me tell you,
I just want to know the meaning of neutrality. 60% is the militarized zone, and the civilian, they have only 40%. So if you look into the ratio, I don't know what is the meaning of neutrality. Can you explain this one? And my question to you, sir.
I think we discussed that in the previous talks, in your last talks. There's a word used, apolitical, which is neutrality. In the students of political science in your audience do understand there is no such thing which is political, which is apolitical. Everything is political. Even the word apolitical means political.
Yeah.
Yes. So if someone claims a neutrality, what does he mean? We fail to understand that. Everyone has his or her opinion. It's a different thing that do not have a partisan approach in political career, in official career, or holding public offices. Now, let me give you an example of neutrality. A very good example here. I saw a dream, and the dream was Imran Khan brought 15 million people in Islamabad. He got hold of Islamabad. Then I saw a dream that Arif Alvi was sent a summary to sign that. And then I saw a dream Arif Alvi rejected the summary and said he's not going to sign because he's not neutral. He has to act on the advice of his party chief, and the party chief gave him advice not to sign it. So he restricted himself from signing it, and then the 27th passed on, and two generals retired on 27th. Then I saw a dream, entire political crisis was brought up, an entire new agenda came in, and Imran Khan became victorious by taking over the National Assembly building of Pakistan.
Dr.
No,
Saab,
no,
we are
no,
not
no,
living.
no, 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 listen to me. Listen to me. I asked in the dream, Imran Khan, in the National Assembly in 3.5 years, how many days have you gone to attend the assembly session? He looked back and forth. I said, I understand. You do not have an energy drink to give the answer. You need an energy drink to fresh yourself and then give an answer. Then, I looked to the record. It's 11% presence of Imran Khan and getting 100% salary from National Assembly. He's coming out of the assemblies because he wants to act neutral. He wants to advise the speaker, the chief ministers to resign and dissolve the assemblies. No, sir, this is not neutrality. Neutrality is something that you are making a nation redundant on policies, on understanding of the subject. Neutrality is when the file of summary went to Arif Alvi and he did not object to it even for 2 minutes. In Urdu, we say there is a phrase, Khoda pahad nikla chuha. But in this case, chuha bhi mara hua nikla. There was no resistance at all. This is neutrality.
Dr.
And I
Saab,
think the
Dr.
people
Saab,
in PTI who follow this program, they will like the dead chuha in the
no,
entire
Doctor,
episode. That is
Doctor,
neutrality.
Doctor Saab, wake up! You are still dreaming, I believe. The Pakistani public is not living in a utopian world. There is a reality over there. The
Certainly.
only these silly politicians and these obstinate child, they are making it a utopia. So now let's come back to our the next segment. Uh, uh, Now, the Imran Khan, uh, he last night he announced that they will quit from the assemblies. Okay, do you think it's a new new verdict he has to market, or is just a hoax? How it is possible that he will do that? Uh, in KPK, his government is functioning very well, and even in the Punjab, he has a full power. And without government, how he will survive? Do you think he is going, or somebody is sending him to long-term rehabilitation?
Whom are you asking this question?
I'm asking to you, sir.
Okay. First of all, let us go back last week to the events. He said he is going to challenge the case of Treasury, the Tosha Khana case, in the courts in the US. Then he said in the courts in Dubai. And then he said in the courts in the UK. 3 courts. He will go and challenge this a defamation suit in the courts. Today is the 10th day. May I know from the followers of Imran Khan, how many more days do you want to do that? If those days are realized, then I will give you the date when he will break the assemblies or dissolve the assemblies. He is not in a position to dissolve the assemblies. He is
Walid
not
Ansari
in a
Sahab,
position to
Walid
damage
Ansari
Pakistan's
Sahab
democracy. And
in
let
a
me tell you, he has no means of handling his own people. His own people are against him. And we have information that the KPK, just read the last National Assembly. The National Assembly case is in the Supreme Court of Pakistan. And we have a former Attorney General here. That case is heard by the Supreme Court based on the reports that the members of the National Assembly of PTI informed the court that they were not taken into confidence to resign those papers, and the papers were submitted for their resignation. So there is a dispute in the court of law. There is a dispute in the National Assembly, in the Supreme Court of Pakistan on National Assembly. Do you think that there does not exist a malified intention? Even if he submits a dissolution of the assembly through the chief ministers, the governor can return it back and ask. I do not know law. Waleed Ansari Sahib will answer me.
Yeah,
They will
Waleed.
ask that if there exists a malified intention, President's National Assembly in the Supreme Court today. If there is a malified intention that you are submitting the papers, then get the vote of confidence that you are submitting this. If you fail to get vote of confidence in the provincial assembly in KPK and fail to get vote of confidence in Punjab Assembly, then you cannot dissolve the assemblies. This is a big dispute and this big legal case. And I think the right man to answer this is Mr.
Waleed Ansari Sahib. Waleed
Yes, sir.
Ansari Sahib, let's talk about the intentions. The
Ji.
Imran Khan has an intention to put a more pressure on the federal government to come back to table for the elections. So that's why he announced that they will quit from the assemblies. So this is one of the intention. When he was talking to the audience last night, in the same time, Rana Saab, the Interior Minister, Sanaullah Saab, he clearly said that if he will do so, then within a second they will file a petition for the in these assemblies for the no confidence. So this is another intention. So the both intentions we already know, they are vicious. One he will act, the other one he will stop. So in a legal perspective, please answer that. Is it possible, or if the matter will go to the courts, and what the court will think when they already know their intentions?
There's a lot of difference between the intention of a political leader and what reality will dictate. For the chief minister to advise the governor to dissolve the assemblies would mean new elections. And the governor could return those, but if the chief minister sends them back to the governor, then he will have to dissolve the assemblies. But the thing is, this intention of wanting to disrupt, will it be supported by his own party is another question. And number two, the incumbent prime minister in Punjab is not from his party, he's an ally of his. And he and his own party have their own political ambitions and what they would like to achieve within the province. So I'm sure he will not get support for dissolving the assemblies from Punjab or even from the NWFP, because if they leave their power base, they're sitting right now in power, as well as the political system is favoring them, and so is public support to a great extent. If they were to dissolve the assembly and new elections would be held, the new parties are going to make inroads into their political vote bank. So will they take such a drastic step just for the ego of one person and the satisfaction of that ego is going to be difficult, because to actually be in a position to call general elections and to go through these minor moves is very difficult. You don't have the support, you don't have the actions necessary required to call in general elections. So it is better that you wait for elections, and elections are not very far off in any case. So it would be better that they would sit down. As far as the resignations are concerned, as Dr. GOLAM MUJTABA has said, all these matters are sub judice at the moment. But a few of the National Assembly members have demanded, and one has even taken back his resignation, who is an MNA from Lyari, Shakur Shah. So he's a PTI MNA. Either those resignations should have been accepted earlier, but why have they been kept lingering? Maybe they wanted to give him an opportunity and his party to understand that the political system should carry on, and whatever needs to be worked out should be worked out within that political system. So if there is a National Assembly in session and you were members of it, it would be in the better scheme of things that you continue as members and bring your case before the nation and in the assemblies. So that you could do much better than howling outside in dharnas and processions. There's not much mileage that we get.
Dr. Saab, with this announcement, he's quitting from the assemblies. And within his party, there are some independents, both in Punjab and in KPK. So, do you think it's a beginning of a very big horse trading in Pakistan?
FAROOQ Mirza Sahab, let me tell you in straight words. This is a mockery of democracy that he's playing with. He's playing with fire. He has damaged all institutions of Pakistan that rightly said by Mr. Wali Ansari. He has not left a single institution of Pakistan to work normally and function in a proper way. He has no moral grounds of talking of parliament when he himself attended only 11% of sessions. With 11% and 100% payments made to him, what did he do to democracy? He is trying to damage democracy. He's trying to damage the government. He's trying to damage the state of Pakistan. He has damaged Pakistan's economy. And the basic factor that we did not discuss today is Pakistan's economy is at the brink of collapse. He has been a catalyst in bringing this situation, which Mr. Waleed Ansari rightly mentioned. He in $50 billion of loan in 3.5 years, as opposed to $70 billion of loan in 70 years. What did he do good for Pakistan? And now by bringing everything at a standstill, bringing dharnas, bringing protests, and then after getting no results from these protests, in face saving, he's trying to damage the assemblies of Pakistan. This is just a face saving for him. We would not allow, and the people of Pakistan should not allow one man to damage Pakistan's economy, to damage Pakistan's national security, to damage Pakistan's judiciary, to damage Pakistan's economic conditions. No, this is not Pakistan's interest. This is not patriotism towards Pakistan. Imran Khan, his party is now no more PTI, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. It is Pakistan Traitors Institution. PTI is Pakistan Traitors Institution that is damaging Pakistan. That's what I allege now in your program. They have done everything that has gone against the interest of Pakistan and supported the foes of Pakistan. We are not going to take this anymore in Pakistan. That's why you did not see more than 15,000 people in his rally today. He was in no position to take over Islamabad. He was in no position to do anything. He was having 15,000 protesters and 26,000 law enforcement agency personnel to deal with them. He had nothing to do there. And he kept on showing his leg by taking out shalwar on top of it like a beggar on the street, showing to get some help from the people with money. What is he doing?
Dr. Saab,
He's making
Dr.
a
Saab,
mockery. He's damaging Pakistan's interest internationally.
Do-
Are we talking
Dr.
about him? He's not in his real state of mind. When Shahzad Khanzada challenged him on Tosha Khana, he said, I will go to Dubai, I will go to UK, and I will go to US. Come on, man. Why did you go to US? Why didn't you go to the courts in UK? Why did you go to the courts in Dubai? It's 10 days now. Where are your words?
Dr. Saab, he is a very smart man.
He's not a smart man. He's a very stupid man.
People think that he's now physically retarded and mentally
Yes.
retarded as well. But you should know that the PTI has a dentist on the board. I think at this point they should have a neurosurgeon as well. But anyway, he plainly and knowingly and intentionally did all these moves very well, and he was very successful. He was.
Good. 4 bullets were in the pocket of Imran Ismail. 4 bullets were in his leg. 4 bullets were with some other people. Why 4? Everyone had 4 bullets of 4 pellets.
Waleed Ansari Saab,
they're in the pockets.
Waleed Ansari Saab,
what he's trying to say that Japan and Germany are borders. Jesus Christ is not part of history. The trees give oxygen at nights. Whom is he fooling? He's a fool to fool the people of Pakistan. People of Pakistan are not retarded. People of Pakistan are normal individuals and competent people. They know oxygens are not released by the trees at night. They know that there is a full chapter in Quran Kareem on Surah Maryam. They know that this is a bullshit. And still they keep on clapping on this man. Come on. The
Waleed
bullet came
Ansari Sahab,
from here and dived into his leg and then formed pellets.
Waleed Ansari Sahab,
What are you doing?
Sir,
uh, the situation right now we are observing in Pakistan seems like people lost their mind. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows what to do. The politicians, the parliament, even they don't believe on parliament. And look into right now the military and its departments affair. There is a divide, and even they need to make certain decisions to at least to keep the discipline. So if, there is no fundamental rights now. The students and the women and the children, you know that millions of people they are on the road still. These flood effectees, they are suffering, and these silly politicians, they are wasting their money and their resources on these uh, pseudo gatherings. So Waleed Ansari Saab, what will happen down the road when there is a political mess and the defenders they get neutral? So who will come forward to take action? Who will come forward to make an influence? The courts, they are flopped, and they have their own differences. Even the Supreme Court, the judges, they don't like each other. And uh, the lower courts, there is no discipline. There is a corruption and the nepotism, and we are getting so corrupt. What is the solution when the people they get neutral? Who will come forward to take care of Pakistan?
okay, first of all, I would.
Before you say anything, was it a neutral question?
No, this
Not
is
a
a
neutral.
this is all
Go,
about
go
neutral.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I would first of all object to your sweeping statement that people don't know what to do now. I think the situation has turned for the better now because the movements that were taking place from on behalf of one party to disrupt almost everything in the country, that seems to have now subsided, and they have seen the dawn. So for the system to work, I think it would be better, and I think this is going to happen, is that the military is going to talk to the government, and they're going to tell them that now we are pulling back from doing anything. You set this house in order, get this economy on track, even though this international economic atmosphere is not 100% conducive to international trade. But still, they are going to tell them to pull their socks up. We are giving you a free hand. If not, then you know what happens again. But as far as the judiciary, the word that you have used, that that it itself is not happy with some judges are not happy with the other fellow brothers. This is something that has been part of our judicial system or any judicial system in the world all over time. It's been, at least in Pakistan, it's been like this all the time. But these things are only now coming to the surface because of social media, and so people sort of get for them it's a big shot in the arm dose that oh, now what is going to happen. I hear this almost every day in courts, that the judiciary is like this and the judiciary is like this, and they're all corrupt, and only with money they give judgments, after being paid. Now, this is a load of nonsense, you see. I don't agree with that. Yes, the judiciary is weak, and it needs to be uh, pulled up, I would say.
Thank you
This
very
is the
much,
job. This is
Dr.
the job
Ghulam
of the
Mujtaba Sahab. Last question
judiciary
to
itself.
you. Does neutrality means speech is silver and silence is gold? Please give me a fair answer.
Whom are
Very
you
much like
asking
that.
this question?
You are the
You,
Dr.
sir.
Ghulam Mujtaba Sahab. Last question. Time's up.
The most difficult question in the last moment. I must tell you that Pakistan's armed forces have stood by Pakistan in natural calamities, in the defense of borders, in any tough time, including monetary collapse, which you saw last time, General Bajwa going to UAE and taking the Prime Minister to Saudi Arabia. Armed forces has played a pivotal role. And if there is a need of emergency, and I may tell you that what I foresee living from this side of the Atlantic, that there is going to be a financial emergency in Pakistan by March. These people, whosoever they are, in the both sides of the aisle of Pakistan's parliament, they are not able to resolve Pakistan's financial capabilities and Pakistan's financial landscape. Pakistan do not have money more than $1.9 billion, whereas the expense is $4 billion a month. In this situation, I foresee a financial collapse and no one going to support Pakistan because, in straight terms, I tell you, Imran Khan supported Putin, supported Ukraine war. There is no way Imran Khan can be supported by the United States. I do not see any reason.
Dr.
Now,
Saab, this is a
the
different
second
topic.
thing, no, let me just sum up in 2 minutes. Now, the second thing is our current Prime Minister, who is a personal friend of mine, he has attempted so many times with China, and he has shown his tilt towards China by displaying his attitude of Chinese friendship sweeter than honey. It's not going to work. China is not going to give a dime to Pakistan. The third option is the US, which has always supported Pakistan, or the allies of the US, which means the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Pakistan has to tilt and bulge to get US support. You do not get without any give and take. You have to compromise on certain things. You have to bring a neutral policy. A neutrality in the region is not going to work for Pakistan. Pakistan is at the verge of deciding either you are with us or you are with them. If you are with us, you are going to get the concessions and relief for Pakistan's economy to survive.
Dr. Saab, thank you very much. This is an American perspective. We are talking very seriously on foreign policies in Pakistan. Definitely,
Pakistan's economy is
things
not
will
American
change.
perspective. Pakistan's economy in doldrums is a Pakistan prospect.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Folks, time's up. Waleed Ansari Saab, thank you very much. Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba Saab, we discussed very important issues. Newly appointed Army Chief, General Asim Munir. He's a very very highly educated, very disciplined person. I believe there would be a cleanup and there would be a action within the institution. The people, they were reporting on both sides and within the agency as well. We hope they will maintain the neutrality and the media will be independent and the voices, they will be heard loudly, and a democratic process will start very soon. Down the road, crying baby, he announced that he will quit from the assemblies, and there would be, I think, a political process has just started, and the politics on the roads and the politics of violence and the melodramatic uh, killing, uh, road massive gatherings, now I think is over, and he will also go for the rehabilitation for the long time, and we hope he will get better and mentally stable. The political party should have a wisdom and prudence, and they should not threaten Pakistan's national security, and they should not make mockery of the institutions, departments, and the defenders, especially the Pakistan Armed Forces. And I believe the people who are running trends against Pakistan, malign Pakistan, and they defame Pakistan, and they are changing Pakistan's narrative in the world. I think they should be blamed out and taken care of that. And as far as the social media is concerned, they should also behave responsibly. Responsibly. So we expect a better Pakistan, a stable Pakistan. We also expect a very good relationship between Pakistan and America because they have a long-term strategic relation. They should also keep the balance with the either the military foreign policy, the civil policy. At the same time, I believe the military to military relationship and the civil to civil military relationship with Pakistan and United States will also strengthen. So, folks, thank you very much. We will come back with a new topic. Again, panel Waleed Ansari Saab, Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba Saab. Thank you for your time. Pakistan Zindabad.